Hi, everyone. My name is Gretchen Vogel. I've been a author, medium, channel for more than 4 decades. Thank you for coming to play with my ideas today. Everything I present on this channel is from my own work. There was another little piece or part to the meditation on free will that I would like to share with you because it really did sort of surprise me. Um, in a way, I hadn't thought about free will in this context. So let me rinse and repeat a little bit in case you haven't watched the last video. Um, Humans are the only species on the planet that are carrying in equal proportions the ability to create and the ability to destroy. And we are participating actually in a natural law. This isn't any moral judgment on humans. I also was given that we are not the only species throughout universe who are carrying this potential to equally create or destroy. However, that's throughout universe. We're the only ones on this planet. Okay, so the other interesting part of that meditation was that free will is not able to be executed until we're around 7 years old as a human. Now, I was brought up Catholic, and that was called the age of reason. And we made our first communion when we were 7, because I guess we had to choose to do it, although it didn't seem like that at the time. Anyway, the ability to create or destroy is carried in the human consciousness. But the ability to execute free will does not happen until the ego shell or ego self is present in us, which doesn't happen right away. So let's look at what the baby does have and what it doesn't have when it comes into the world. A newborn baby is carrying all of its experience from prior lifetimes, whether it's aware of it or not. And many of us throughout our entire life never dive into wanting to see our past lives. And the most poignant memories from our past lives. I've also been given that past lives are really the best segue to understanding that we are a soul having a human experience, that we are a spirit having a human experience. In fact, I don't know if I can grab it here. Yes, it is still here. Good. Good. Sorry about that. I have this little, sticker here because it says the physical sheath that we decide to inhabit is like a virtual reality experience. As our souls pick up a body and function within a body, it is like assuming a virtual persona, identity, or task. And I've always sort of loved that. I've always liked the way that was said. I don't even know which meditation that came from. Anyway, so a baby does have all of the experiences of the prior lives energetically with it, being carried with it. The other thing that a baby comes in with obviously because we're humans, so we have that potential to create or destroy. But the other thing that the baby has with it is the pre-birth choices that were possible um, for experience in each lifetime. So, in other words, we kind of know what we're getting into on some level here. Um, but what the baby cannot do is see itself as anything separate from the people around it or its environment. Now, the baby has incredible sensitivity and the ability to feel the environment that it's in, everywhere from a very local experience of his household and family to its community, its country. Um, the baby is incredibly psychic. Some of us, recover that feeling of permeability, but the baby already has it coming in. So I was incredibly interested in why free will is not one of our attributes until the age of reason. Now, free will is defined as the ability to make a choice, the ability to apply the potential for good or evil in a very generic sense in our life. Where we are in that sliding scale that I was talking about in the last video of light to dark, ugly to beautiful in terms of music, maybe the way we're going to conduct our lives. We don't begin to make those choices, even though it seems like a toddler is very opinionated. The toddler is just forming the ego shell or the ego self. And I've been told that that's a layer of mind. So obviously, some children are born into circumstances that are very difficult, very dark. And because a baby cannot see itself as anything separate from its environment, it tends to absorb some of that darkness within itself. I mean, it just can't help it because it's not separate. And conversely, a baby who is brought in, in a wanted child who is brought in with love, absorbs that love. And so when free will is applied outwardly and inwardly, and our exterior world seems to be a completely different place than our interior world. We all know that, right? Love is easier to express. Now, pretty much everyone who comes to visit me is a light worker. We are trying to create the very best experience for ourselves, each other, and the planet. And in that context, our internal self-speak, self-regard may be completely different than the way we present on the outside. And it takes a very long time to achieve the self-awareness and the self-love, to use our free will to make good decisions for our experience internally. Most of us would never choose to harm anything, outside of ourselves. But it's more of a challenge to use free will not to harm ourselves on the inside, particularly if we came from any challenging circumstances. So um, I just wanted to make that distinction between the endowment of carrying the potential for uh, positive or negative, for creativity or destruction, um, as opposed to when free will kicks in the human later on. I thought that was just super interesting, that I wanted to share it with you. So thank you for coming to play with my ideas today. Um, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. The next meditation that I have is on self-responsibility, which dovetails beautifully with this theme of free will. But that's for the next time. So thanks for coming. I'll see you soon.